Hello there, fellow coin enthusiasts and collectors. Welcome back to the channel World Rare Coins, where we dive deep into the world of rare and valuable coins that could be worth a small fortune. From hidden gems that could be worth a fortune to little-known coins with a rich history, we'll explore it all. And if you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on any of our exciting discoveries. And now grab your magnifying glasses and let's start our today's video. On Top 1 today, we're going to talk about a coin that might seem like a regular, everyday quarter, but as we explore, you'll see just how much more there is to this seemingly ordinary piece of currency. That's right, I'm talking about the United States quarter dollar from 1983.at. First glance, a quarter from 1983 might not seem like much. After all, it's just a regular coin you've probably found in your pocket or wallet. But what if I told you that this quarter could be worth far more than its face value? Stick around as we uncover its fascinating history, design, and collector appeal, and by the end of this video, I'll reveal just how much one of these quarters could be worth today. Spoiler alert, it's a pretty impressive number. Let's start by taking a look back in time to 1983. The United States was undergoing a period of significant political and economic change. Ronald Reagan was in his second year as president, and the country was recovering from the early 1980s recession. The economy was growing, inflation was under control, and things were starting to look up after the turbulent economic years that had preceded Reagan's presidency. In the world of U.S. coinage, 1983 marked a shift in the production of quarters. By this point, the U.S. Mint had been producing quarters with a copper-nickel-clad composition for several years, ever since the Mint made the switch from pure silver in 1965. This new composition was much cheaper to produce, but it was still durable enough to withstand heavy circulation. By 1983, the quarter was still an essential part of daily life, used in everything from vending machines to parking meters to laundry machines. Now, let's talk about the design of the 1983 quarter. If you're familiar with the quarter, you'll recognize the iconic image of George Washington on the obverse, which has been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1932. Designed by John Flanagan, this portrayal of Washington has become one of the most well-known and enduring images in American coinage. The face of the first president is depicted with dignity and authority, surrounded by the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," reminding us of the nation's founding principles. On the reverse side of the 1983 quarter, you'll see the classic design featuring an eagle in flight. This design, which has been used on the quarter since 1932, represents the strength and majesty of the United States. The eagle is shown soaring in mid-flight, its wings spread wide, symbolizing the nation's power, freedom, and independence. The words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum appear above the eagle, while quarter dollar is inscribed below, indicating the coin's value. Although the design of the 1983 quarter remained largely unchanged from previous years, there are some subtle details that make this year's production of quarters unique. For one, the 1983 quarters were produced in large numbers, as demand for quarters remained high. However, the condition of these coins can vary significantly, and that's where the collector value comes into play. You see, many of the 1983 quarters were circulated heavily, used in countless transactions across the country. Over time, these coins can become worn, scratched, or damaged, making them less desirable to collectors. But finding a 1983 quarter in excellent, uncirculated condition is a rare treat for any coin enthusiast. These well-preserved examples are much more valuable than their more worn counterparts, and they're highly sought after in the coin collecting community. But it's not just about condition. Like many coins, there are also rare minting errors that can make a 1983 quarter stand out and significantly increase its value. Minting errors are one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting because they turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a unique, one-of-a-kind treasure. For the 1983 quarter, there have been reports of various minting errors, including double strikes, off-center strikes, and other anomalies that can make a coin more desirable to collectors. For instance, imagine finding a 1983 quarter that was struck off-center, where the design is slightly misaligned. This subtle error could turn the coin into something special, and its value would increase because of its rarity. Even more exciting are coins with double strikes, where the coin was struck twice during the minting process, resulting in an overlapping design. These error coins can fetch significantly higher prices at auction, making them highly prized among collectors. Now, you're probably wondering just how much a 1983 quarter can be worth. Well, if you happen to have one in uncirculated condition, or, even better, one with a minting error, you could be holding on to something quite valuable. A 1983 quarter in excellent condition can fetch a considerable amount on the market. But the real kicker is when you find one of those rare minting errors. A 1983 quarter with a double strike or off-center error could be worth as much as $69,000. That's right, $69,000 for a single quarter. It's a mind-blowing figure, but it's true, especially when you consider how rare and desirable minting errors are now. I know what you're thinking. How many of these quarters are out there? The truth is, not every 1983 quarter will fetch that amount. In fact, most of the 1983 quarters you come across will likely be worth just a few cents. But for those of you who happen to have a pristine 1983 quarter, or one with a minting error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Coin collecting is all about finding those hidden gems, and you never know when you might come across a coin that's worth far more than you ever expected. So, what should you do if you think you might have a valuable 1983 quarter? First, take a close look at the coin and check its condition. Is it in excellent shape, with sharp details and minimal wear? If so, it could be worth more than you think. Next, check for any minting errors. Double strikes, off-center strikes, and other irregularities are what can really make a coin stand out in the collector's market. If you spot an error, it's worth getting the coin professionally appraised to determine its value. In conclusion, the 1983 United States quarter may seem like an ordinary piece of currency at first glance, but it has the potential to be so much more. With its historical significance, timeless design, and the possibility of minting errors, this coin is a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. If you're lucky enough to come across one of these valuable quarters, you could find yourself holding a coin worth as much as $69,000. So, the next time you're sorting through your change or looking through your coin collection, remember that a 1983 quarter could be more valuable than you ever imagined. On top 2, we're going to explore a coin that, on the surface, might seem like just another ordinary piece of currency. But there's a lot more to the 1984 United States quarter dollar than you might think. Stick around until the end because I'll be revealing the stunning value of this coin today, and you'll be amazed at just how much it's worth. Now, let's take a trip back to 1984. It was a year marked by significant events, and in the United States, President Ronald Reagan was serving his second term in office. The economy was in recovery after the early 1980s recession, and the American people were beginning to feel the effects of the nation's resurgence. Reagan's popularity was growing, and the U.S. was experiencing a period of relative peace and prosperity. But in the world of numismatics, 1984 was a year of particular interest, especially when it came to the coinage produced by the U.S. Mint. The 1984 quarter dollar was part of the standard issue coinage produced during that period. The U.S. Mint was continuing to produce coins made from the copper-nickel clad composition that had been used since the 1960s, after silver was removed from regular circulation. This change in material was a response to the rising cost of silver and was implemented to keep the production of coins affordable and sustainable. As a result, the 1984 quarter, like others from the 1980s, was made from a combination of copper and nickel, with a core of pure copper and an outer layer of nickel. Now, let's dive into the design of the 1984 quarter. On the obverse of the coin, you'll find the iconic portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States. This design, created by artist John Flanagan, has been used on the quarter since 1932 and has become one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. Washington's face is depicted with dignity and strength as a leader who helped shape the nation. The words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" are inscribed around his portrait, reflecting the core values of the United States. The year, 1984, appears below Washington's image, marking the specific year of production. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find the classic eagle design. This symbol of the United States, with its wings spread wide and its eyes focused forward, represents the power, freedom, and resilience of the country. The eagle is a reminder of the strength and independence of the United States, a fitting emblem for the nation's currency. Below the eagle, you'll see the words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum, the national motto that translates to out of many one. And of course, the words quarter dollar appear at the bottom, indicating the coin's denomination. Although the design of the 1984 quarter may seem familiar, it's important to understand that there were subtle factors that make it stand out in the world of coin collecting. One of the most significant factors is the condition of the coin. Many of the 1984 quarters that were produced ended up in circulation, where they were used in everyday transactions. Over time, these coins have likely suffered from wear and tear, making them less desirable to collectors. But here's where it gets interesting. If you happen to find a 1984 quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be holding on to something truly special. Coins that are in excellent condition, especially those that have never been used in circulation, are always in demand among collectors. A coin with sharp, clear details, without any scratches or wear, can fetch a significantly higher price than one that has been circulated for years. And this is especially true for quarters from the 1980s, as coins from that era were produced in large quantities and are often found in less than perfect condition. But the value of a 1984 quarter doesn't stop with its condition. Another important factor that can drive the value of a coin up is the presence of a minting error. Minting errors occur when a coin is not struck properly during the production process. These errors can create unique, one-of-a-kind coins that are highly sought after by collectors. For the 1984 quarter, there have been a few notable errors reported, including off-center strikes, double strikes, and other misprints that make these coins even more valuable. For example, imagine you find a 1984 quarter that has been struck off-center, meaning the design is slightly misaligned. This can happen when the coin is not properly positioned in the press during the minting process. An off-center strike can make a coin more appealing to collectors because it is a rare and unique mistake. Similarly, double strikes, where the coin has been struck twice with the same design, can create an even more distinctive appearance and significantly increase the coin's value. But errors aren't the only thing that can make a 1984 quarter stand out. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition, or those with unique characteristics can also be worth significantly more. Coins that have been stored carefully and protected from wear over the years are particularly valuable. If you have a 1984 quarter that has been kept in excellent condition, it could be worth far more than its face value. The market for high-quality, uncirculated coins is always strong, and collectors are always on the lookout for those rare finds. So, you're probably wondering, what is the value of a 1984 quarter today? Well, if you happen to have a coin that is in perfect condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. A 1984 quarter in uncirculated condition could be worth as much as $65,000. That's right, $65,000 for a single quarter. It's hard to believe, but this is the true potential value of this coin when it's in exceptional condition or has a rare minting error. Now, I know you might be thinking, how common are these high-value coins? The truth is, finding a 1984 quarter in pristine condition or with a minting error is not easy. Most of the 1984 quarters that were produced have been circulated extensively, and many of them show signs of wear. However, the fact that there are still a few high-quality, error-free or error-prone coins out there means that if you're lucky enough to come across one, you could be holding a coin that is worth far more than its face value. If you happen to find a 1984 quarter that you think might be worth something, don't hesitate to get it professionally appraised. A coin expert will be able to examine the coin and determine its true value based on its condition, any potential minting errors, and other factors. And if you have a rare find, you might be surprised by just how much it's worth on the market. In conclusion, the 1984 United States quarter dollar may seem like just another regular coin, but it holds a surprising amount of value in the right condition. With its historical significance, classic design, and the potential for minting errors, this quarter has become a coveted piece among collectors. If you're lucky enough to find a 1984 quarter in excellent condition, or even one with a minting error, you could be holding a coin worth as much as $65,000. Who knew a simple quarter could have such an incredible value? On Top 3, we're exploring a coin that might just surprise you with its potential value: the United States quarter dollar from 1986. At first glance, this may seem like just another coin from the 1980s, but there's far more to this particular quarter than meets the eye. By the end of this video, you'll be amazed at just how valuable this seemingly ordinary coin can be. Stick around, because this is a story you won't want to miss. Let's start by setting the stage in 1986. The United States was experiencing a time of great cultural and economic change. Ronald Reagan was midway through his second term as president, and the country was recovering from the recession that had hit earlier in the decade. The U.S. economy was growing, and the world was watching as the U.S. took a leading role in global politics and trade. But what does any of this have to do with a quarter? Well, everything. The history and design of U.S. coinage are deeply tied to the era they were produced in, and the 1986 quarter is no exception. Produced by the U.S. Mint in 1986, the quarter was part of the standard circulation coinage at the time. The quarter, like all coins in regular circulation, was made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, a material that had been in use since 1965. This change in metal composition, from silver to copper-nickel, was necessary due to rising silver prices, and it became the standard for U.S. coinage for many years. The 1986 quarter was struck in massive numbers, with over 500 million coins minted that year, and was distributed for use in daily transactions across the country. While the 1986 quarter may have been widely circulated, its design is where the real story begins. On the obverse of the coin, you'll find the familiar and iconic portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States. This design, created by artist John Flanagan, has been featured on the quarter since 1932, and it remains one of the most recognizable images in the history of American coinage. Washington's dignified face is flanked by the words, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," which reinforce the nation's values of freedom and faith. The year, 1986, is inscribed beneath his portrait, indicating the coin's specific minting year. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see the image of an eagle, a powerful symbol of the United States. The eagle is depicted with its wings spread wide, representing the strength, courage, and freedom of the nation. The inscription, United States of America, curves around the top of the coin, and the motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many one, appears on the ribbon held by the eagle. The words, quarter dollar, are located at the bottom of the coin, denoting its value. At first glance, the 1986 quarter may seem like just another example of the familiar U.S. coin design, but it's important to understand that the true value of any coin often lies in its condition. The majority of the 1986 quarters that were minted went into circulation and were used for everyday transactions. Over time, coins that were heavily circulated began to show signs of wear and tear. This makes finding a 1986 quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition a rare and exciting find at SO. Why is condition so important? In the world of coin collecting, the state of a coin plays a huge role in determining its value. A coin that is in mint state, meaning it shows no signs of wear or damage and retains its original luster, is far more valuable than a coin that has been circulated and has scratches, dents, or discoloration. Coins in excellent condition are highly sought after by collectors who are willing to pay a premium for well-preserved specimens. But there's more to the story of the 1986 quarter than just its condition. Over the years, some collectors have discovered that certain quarters from this year may have unique characteristics that set them apart from others. Some of these quarters were minted with slight errors, such as off-center strikes, double strikes, or other minting anomalies. These error coins are especially valuable because they are rare and one-of-a-kind. A minting error can make a coin even more attractive to collectors, as it adds an element of rarity and intrigue. If you happen to find a 1986 quarter that has been struck with an off-center design, for example, you might be holding a coin that is worth far more than its face value. Off-center strikes occur when the coin is not positioned properly in the press during the minting process, causing the design to be misaligned. These errors are uncommon, which is why they are so valuable to collectors who are always on the lookout for unique pieces. Similarly, if your 1986 quarter has been struck twice with the same design, creating a double strike error, you could be sitting on a coin worth significantly more than a standard quarter. Double strikes occur when a coin is struck by the minting press more than once, usually due to improper alignment. These coins often feature a design that appears doubled or overlapped, making them easily identifiable as error coins. Double strike quarters are highly prized by collectors and can fetch a substantial price on the market. So, how much is a 1986 quarter worth today? If you happen to have a 1986 quarter in mint condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a valuable treasure. In fact, a 1986 quarter in uncirculated condition can be worth up to $61,000. Yes, you heard that right, $61,000 for a single quarter. While this amount might seem astonishing for a coin that was originally worth just 25 cents, it's important to remember that the value of coins like the 1986 quarter depends on several factors. The rarity of a well-preserved coin, the demand among collectors, and the presence of any minting errors can all contribute to a coin's value skyrocketing. Finding a rare, uncirculated 1986 quarter, or one with a minting error, is a once-in-a-lifetime discovery for many collectors, which is why the value of these coins can be so high. If you have a 1986 quarter in your collection or come across one in your spare change, take the time to examine it closely. Look for signs of wear, damage, or unique characteristics that could make it stand out. And if you think you have a particularly rare or valuable coin, don't hesitate to get it professionally appraised. A coin expert can help you determine its true value and guide you through the process of selling or auctioning it if you choose to do so. In conclusion, the 1986 United States quarter dollar is far more than just another piece of currency. With its rich design, historical significance, and the potential for minting errors, it has become a sought-after collector's item. Whether you're lucky enough to find one in pristine condition or discover a rare minting error, this coin could be worth a fortune. So, if you have one of these quarters, or if you come across one in your everyday transactions, take a closer look. You may just be holding a coin worth $61,000. On Top 4, we're taking a journey into the fascinating world of U.S. coinage to explore a coin that you might not think of as anything special at first glance, the 1987 quarter dollar. But as with all things numismatic, there's more to this seemingly ordinary coin than meets the eye. In fact, this quarter holds a captivating story, a bit of history, and yes, an impressive value that may just surprise you. So, grab your magnifying glass, because you're going to want to pay close attention to the details of this incredible find. Let's set the stage for 1987. The United States was in the midst of an era marked by change, both politically and economically. President Ronald Reagan was in office, navigating through the latter half of his second term. The economy was experiencing a period of growth after the 1981 to 1982 recession, and things were looking up for many Americans. But the world of coinage was also experiencing some transitions, with the designs of American coins beginning to evolve. Amid all this change, the 1987 quarter was produced, a standard piece of currency in circulation at the time, but with a history that would make it an appealing target for collectors down the road. The quarter dollar coin, which had first been minted in 1796, underwent several design changes over the years, but by 1987, it was still featuring the iconic image of George Washington, the first president of the United States. On the obverse, the front side of the coin, you'll find Washington's familiar portrait, a design that had been in place since 1932, created by artist John Flanagan. Washington is depicted in profile, with his face framed by the words, "Liberty," and "In God We Trust." The year, 1987, is also prominently displayed beneath his portrait, marking the coin's exact year of issue. But the 1987 quarter is more than just a coin with a historical figure's likeness. It's part of the continued tradition of U.S. coinage that honors the nation's values and identity. George Washington, a leader of extraordinary influence and vision, was chosen to appear on the quarter to symbolize the ideals of liberty, democracy, and the enduring strength of the United States. The design is simple yet powerful, representing a constant in a rapidly changing world. This connection to the founding principles of the nation gives the quarter a lasting significance. On the reverse, the back side of the 1987 quarter, you'll see a striking representation of the bald eagle, a symbol of strength and freedom that has been synonymous with the United States for centuries. The eagle's wings are spread wide, showcasing its majesty and power as it holds an olive branch in one talon and a bundle of arrows in the other, signifying peace and defense, respectively. Above the eagle is the inscription United States of America, while below, the coin bears the words E pluribus unum, out of many, one, and quarter dollar. At first glance, the 1987 quarter may appear to be just another run-of-the-mill piece of U.S. currency, but the key to its future value lies in its rarity, condition, and the history that surrounds it. Although millions of these quarters were minted and circulated, few remain in pristine condition. Coins that have been in circulation for years often show wear and tear, losing their original luster and sometimes even developing scratches, discoloration, or other signs of damage. However, coins that are in excellent or uncirculated condition are far rarer and much more valuable to collectors. It's important to note that the quality of a coin plays a significant role in determining its market value. A coin in mint condition, one that has been carefully preserved and shows no signs of wear, is always going to be more valuable than a coin that has been heavily circulated. The 1987 quarter, though produced in large numbers, becomes a highly sought-after collectible when it is in excellent condition, as the demand for well-preserved examples is always high. But there's more to the value of the 1987 quarter than just its condition. As with many other coins, there are certain variations or errors that can dramatically increase its worth. These unique characteristics often arise from the minting process itself. A coin might have been struck with an off-center design, or perhaps it was double-struck, creating a design that's slightly overlapped or appears twice. Minting errors like these make a coin one of a kind and can boost its value significantly, as collectors are always eager to add these rare and distinctive pieces to their collections. Some of the most valuable 1987 quarters feature such minting errors, and these coins can fetch prices far above their face value. An off-center strike, where the design is misaligned or slightly shifted, can make a coin appear unique, and collectors love these one-of-a-kind pieces. Similarly, double-strike errors, where the coin is struck multiple times during the minting process, often result in a quarter with a design that appears doubled or misaligned in some way. These types of errors are not only interesting to collectors, but they also add to the coin's rarity and desirability. So, what's the big reveal? How much could a 1987 quarter be worth today? If you happen to have one of these coins in perfect, uncirculated condition, or perhaps one with a rare minting error, you could be holding something truly valuable. A well-preserved 1987 quarter, especially one that's been minted with an error, could be worth up to $59,000. Yes, that's $59,000 for a coin that was originally worth just 25 cents. Now, before you rush off to your coin jar or check through your loose change, remember that the value of any coin is determined by a number of factors, including its rarity, condition, and any potential minting errors. While the 1987 quarter is certainly a valuable piece for collectors, not every 1987 quarter will be worth tens of thousands of dollars. But if you're lucky enough to find one in mint condition, or with a rare error, it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. If you happen to have a 1987 quarter or come across one in your daily transactions, take a close look at its condition. Is it in excellent shape? Are there any signs of wear or, perhaps, a unique feature that might make it stand out from the rest? If you think you've found something special, it's worth having the coin appraised by a professional. A numismatist or coin expert can help you determine its true value and guide you through the process of selling or auctioning it if you choose to do so. In conclusion, the 1987 United States quarter dollar may seem like just another coin from the 1980s, but it's actually a piece of history with real collector appeal. Whether it's the coin's pristine condition, a minting error, or its connection to America's heritage, the 1987 quarter is more than meets the eye. With a potential value of $59,000, it's definitely worth taking a second look at that spare change. On Top 5, we're diving into a coin that might not immediately catch your attention, but with the right details, it might just change your perspective on what could be hidden in your change jar. We're talking about the 1994 United States quarter dollar, seemingly a simple, everyday coin, but one with a story that deserves to be told. You might be surprised by its significance and, of course, its potential value today. So stick around till the end, where we'll reveal how much this quarter could be worth. Let's set the stage for 1994. In the United States, it was a year marked by a mix of social change, technological innovation, and economic recovery. The country was in the midst of a period of strong economic growth, following the brief recession of the early 1990s. Politically, President Bill Clinton had taken office just a year earlier, and his administration was focused on issues like healthcare reform, deficit reduction, and job creation. It was a time of transition in the country, and the same can be said for American currency, as coins were still in circulation featuring traditional designs that had been in place for decades. When it comes to the 1994 quarter, there's a lot more beneath the surface than you might think. On the obverse side of the coin, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States. This image, created by artist John Flanagan in 1932, had been used for decades by the U.S. Mint and continues to grace the quarter dollar to this day. Washington is depicted in profile, with his famous facial features captured in a way that reflects the strength and character of the nation he helped found. Above Washington's portrait are the words "Liberty," and to the left of his image, you'll find the phrase "In God We Trust," a nod to the nation's foundational belief in religious freedom. Below Washington's image is the year of minting, in this case, 1994, which provides important context for the coin's history. This simple yet powerful design on the obverse side of the quarter has become an enduring symbol of American ideals, making this coin more than just currency. It's a piece of the country's history. Turning to the reverse side of the 1994 quarter, we see a familiar image as well, the bald eagle. The eagle, with its wings spread wide, is perched on a bundle of arrows and an olive branch, signifying the country's commitment to both defense and peace. This design, which is also part of the larger tradition of U.S. coinage, serves as a visual representation of America's strength and independence. The eagle's pose is dynamic and powerful, reinforcing the symbolism that has made it one of the most recognizable images associated with the United States. Above the eagle, you'll find the inscription United States of America, while below it, the words E pluribus unum, out of many, one, appear, reflecting the country's unity despite its diversity. The coin also bears the denomination quarter dollar beneath the eagle, reminding us of the coin's value. But while these designs are familiar and iconic, the 1994 quarter holds a special place in the hearts of collectors due to its place in history. Though the 1994 quarter was produced in large numbers, it remains a coin that carries a certain appeal for collectors. Like many coins from this era, it was struck during a time of mass production, and millions of these quarters were circulated in the U.S. economy. This means that, at face value, the 1994 quarter might seem like an everyday coin, a quarter that you might find in your pocket change without much thought. But as is often the case with coins, their value can increase dramatically depending on a number of factors, such as condition, rarity, and any unique features that set a particular coin apart from the rest. The primary factor that determines the value of a 1994 quarter is its condition. A coin that has been in circulation for years will likely show signs of wear and tear, scratches, fading, or discoloration. But coins that have been carefully stored and preserved in uncirculated condition are far rarer and more valuable. A pristine 1994 quarter that has never been used or that shows minimal signs of wear can fetch much higher prices than a well-worn example. The difference in value between a worn quarter and one in perfect condition can be significant, as collectors are always on the lookout for coins that have been preserved in their original state. Aside from its condition, there are also specific varieties and errors that can make a 1994 quarter worth much more than face value. Minting errors, in particular, can dramatically increase a coin's appeal to collectors. If the coin was struck with a misaligned die, creating an off-center image, or if it experienced a double strike, where the design was accidentally pressed twice, it could be worth a small fortune. These errors are often one of a kind, and collectors love to add these unique pieces to their collections. Even small differences in the design or the metal composition can make a coin more valuable to SO. What makes the 1994 quarter such an interesting coin for collectors? The fact that it was minted during a time of mass production means that many of these coins were used in daily transactions and show signs of wear. But for those lucky enough to find a 1994 quarter in pristine condition, or one with a rare minting error, the coin can be worth much more than its face value. As the years go by and fewer of these coins remain in excellent condition, their value continues to rise, making them an appealing addition to any coin collection. Now, for the part you've all been waiting for, the big reveal. How much could a 1994 quarter be worth today? If you have a 1994 quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition, or one with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Coins like these can fetch impressive prices at auction or through private sales, with some specimens reaching values of up to $52,000. Yes, you read that right, $52,000 for a single 1994 quarter. Of course, not every 1994 quarter will be worth that much, and finding one in such excellent condition or with a minting error is rare. But if you happen to have one of these coins, or come across one in the future, be sure to check its condition and look for any unique features. It could be worth far more than you imagined. If you do find a 1994 quarter with a minting error, it's worth having it professionally appraised, as these types of coins can often sell for far more than their face value. In conclusion, the 1994 United States quarter dollar may seem like just another coin from a past year, but its value has far surpassed its original worth. Whether due to its historical significance, its design, or the potential for finding a rare, uncirculated, or error-struck coin, the 1994 quarter is a valuable piece of American numismatic history. With a value of $52,000 for the right specimen, it's certainly worth taking a second look at any quarters you might have in your collection or in your change. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe for more insights into rare and valuable coins. Keep an eye on your change. It could just lead you to your next big discovery.